my name is Jon Hart. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. Today I'm going to be talking about the introduction of my track Lost at Sea. It is a fingerstyle folk track that I wrote a couple of months ago and I've just released it over the last few weeks. So this is a tutorial for the introduction, and this tuning is in C9. This will require some down tuning. If you're in standard, that is. This will require some down tuning and some up tuning as well. So make sure that your strings are stretch proof, okay? Basically, if your strings are too old, then one, they might go out of tune quite a bit, and two, it might be prone to snapping because we're going to be tuning one of the strings up a semitone. Also, brand new strings makes it sound amazing. So anyway, we're going to quickly tune up. So the 6th string is tuned down to a C, okay? The 5th string is tuned down to a G. So we've got drop C, then we've got G. The 4th string stays exactly the same, that's if you're in standard, and it stays at D. The 3rd string stays exactly the same, it's a G. And then the 2nd string is tuned up a semitone to C. Again, that's if you're in standard tuning. Okay, so I tend to give the string a little wiggle, but just make sure that your strings are definitely, you know, stretch proof for this. Okay, and then finally the 1st string is tuned to a D. Okay, and then we get this lovely C9 sound. Beautiful. Okay, let's get into the introduction of Lost at Sea. So today we're going to just play the guitar part, and then if you would like me to do another lesson where we're going to be doing the guitar and singing over the top, please let me know in the comments below. So anyway, let's dig in and start the introduction. Okay, so firstly, with my right hand I tend to assign my thumb to the 5th string. Okay, in this case it's a G. My 1st finger is assigned to the D string, which is the 4th string. My 2nd finger is assigned to the 3rd string, which is G. And my 3rd finger is assigned to the 2nd string, which is C in this case. Okay, now I don't tend to keep my thumb close to my 1st finger like a lot of players that do that. I've just never done that. I've always played my thumb like a bass player because I used to play bass. Now some of you guitarists out there may tell me, oh no, that's not the right thing to do, but sometimes we get stuck into this certain way we play, and it's different techniques, and it's just the way we feel comfortable. Okay, as long as it's not affecting the rest of your body and you've not got any signs of RSI and things, go with it. I tend to like my thumb in parallel to my strings. It's just the way I like to play. Okay, and I keep my fingers behind the crease of my thumb there. Okay, okay, so that is just hand positioning. When you get that and you kind of get comfortable into this whole thing, everything will just flow naturally. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to put our 1st finger of our left hand, or right hand if you are left-handed, onto the 5th fret of the 2nd string. Okay, and with our right hand, now you've got 2 options. You can put your thumb on the bass note, so the 5th string, and then your 3rd finger on the 2nd string, and then pluck those 2 together. Or I like to sometimes mix it up, and I like to play my thumb, 1st, 2nd, 3rd finger all together. Okay, now, so say if we just playing our thumb and 3rd finger, which is the simplest way to play it. What we can do, so we pluck those 2 strings, and then we hammer our 3rd finger down onto the 7th fret, then we pull off back to the 5th fret, then we pull off to the open string. So okay, now the key is always get as much clarity on those notes as possible. If you're not getting clarity straight away, slow it down and then iron out all the creases. make sure every single note is ringing out as much as possible. A great way to do this is to record yourself and then to listen back constantly all the time, okay? Because you're not always going to have a guitarist in front of you, so the best way is to be your own critique for that. So, okay, then after you've gone back to the open of the second string, we pluck the open third string, okay, the G, which sounds very strange when you slow it down, but when we string it all together, it will make sense. So, okay, once we play the open G, we play the 5th fret on the G and slide up to the 7th fret. Okay. Then once our first finger is on the 7th fret of the G, our middle finger, our second finger, goes on to the 8th fret of the 4th string, okay, the D. So, okay, so now we're getting into the middle of the riff. And then our first finger goes onto the 7th fret of the 4th string, the D again, and we slide down to the 5th fret. Yeah. Okay. Then once we've gone to the 5th fret of the 4th string, our third finger goes up to the 7th fret of the 5th string, so G in this case, remember, and then our first finger goes down to the 5th fret, and then we pull off open, okay? Yeah, and then we end the whole riff with an open D. So what I'll do is I'll play that at 3 speeds for you. So this is very slow. This is a medium pace. Okay. And this is a fast pace. So I just encourage you, if you want to learn that riff, pause at every moment of slow, medium and fast, and then go back and have a go with it. So after we've gone through the riff, we then come to this chord. So you bar across the 5th fret and you put your little finger on the 4th string and the 7th fret. Nice F there. Okay, so what we play here, we play thumb. Again, we're assigning fingers to the strings. We play our thumb, then first finger, second finger, first finger, thumb. So we go thumb 1 2 1 thumb. Then we play our second and third finger on the second and third string together. Then back to your second finger, first finger, thumb, back to your first finger. So, okay, the majority of the notes from that chord are quavers and then the odd crotchet and things as well, just to break up the rhythm and to fit in with the folky vibe and stuff. So, and sometimes what you can do as well, once you've played all the notes from that chord, so that last note, you can either play a single note or you can play the 3rd and 4th string together. However you like, you can mix it up. So when you played the riff the first time, you play an F, then you play it the second time, and what you do is you just move the whole chord down 2 frets. Okay, so we're then into a D sharp. Okay, so the first time we play the riff, second time, third time we go back to the F chord, okay, then after we've played that F chord, so we've played riff, then F chord, riff, then D sharp, then riff, then F, then we go back down to the D sharp straight after the F, and we play with our right hand. Again, we've signed our fingers to exactly the same strings. We play thumb on the 6th string, first finger on the 4th string, and then our 2nd and 3rd finger go on the 2nd and 3rd string. Okay, so then we take off our first finger, the bar, and then we play exactly the same again. So, okay, then we come to the final part of the introduction. Now, this is going to be a bit of a stretch. If you've played 5 or 6 frets before, this should be fine. If you haven't, thumb placement is always key. So what I tend to teach my pupils, I'm an analogy guy. I've always taught with analogies and certain things as well, because I come from a dyslexic background. So I try and use shapes, different things, pictures and stuff as well, or just visualize certain things. So it can, well, one, it helps me for my teaching, but it actually helps my pupils. So what I like to think of is the sock puppet. Okay, so if you imagine a sock puppet, okay, the thumb fits in between the 1st and 2nd finger, or as a sleeve as you're moving up the fretboard. Okay, I've seen a lot of players, they put their thumb up here, or they've got their hand up here, or got the things as well. You know, I mean, I can't critique the legends and things as well, because they are legends for a reason. But there are certain things where if you put your hand up here and your thumb up there, immediately my shoulder has risen. So what we tend to do is just keep your thumb placement as compact as possible. So what we're going to be doing here is we put your first finger on the 6th string on the 7th fret, okay, and my thumb immediately is in between my 1st and 2nd finger. Okay, then my little finger is going to move all the way over to the 12th fret. Okay, now that is a bit of a jump. Okay, it's only because I've played a lot of different pieces that certain things, like I used to play a lot of Joe Satriani when I was younger, and Always With Me, Always With You has this incredibly stretchy chord. Okay, and over time it helped the dexterity, it helped the stretching between each fingers as well. And there's certain warm-ups that you can do, but what I'll do a separate video for that. Hopefully we're going to get more into that. So anyway, let's get into the final part of this introduction. So the first finger goes on the 7th fret of the 6th string. Okay, your little finger goes over to the 12th fret. Okay, so again, we've signed our fingers with our right hand, so we play thumb on the 7th fret of the 6th string. Then your little finger is going to go over the harmonics. Now, it's very hard to get clarity when you've got so much of a stretch, so I would keep practicing as much as possible. Okay, perseverance, slowing down, discipline is such a key thing in this particular style. So what we're going to do, we'll play our first finger on the 7th fret of the E string, then we play our little finger on the 12th fret harmonic on the 4th string, and then we play the 12th fret on the 2nd string harmonic, then the 12th fret on the 3rd string harmonic, then the 12th fret on the 4th string harmonic. Okay? Now, you've got two options. I tend to, because it's so fast, I move my little finger over to the 7th fret. Okay? But you can use another finger if you want to, but I just tend to find once you're in that speed, adding another finger in that place might complicate things, because you've already got that stretch and that you've assigned the fingers as such around that area. So anyway, so we're going, you move your little finger over to the 7th fret on the 2nd and 3rd string harmonics, and you play them together. Okay? Then we play open strings. So we play open G, open D, so 3rd string, 4th string, back up to the 6th string, and then we finish with the open 3rd and 4th string, so G and D. So, okay, then we play the whole thing again. But this time when you move your little finger over, you play the 1st and 2nd string on the 7th fret harmonics. Okay, And again, trying to get as much clarity out of those notes. Now harmonics, I've always struggled with clarity in some ways because I overcomplicate things, and that's the thing is, they have to stand out as much as possible. So all together, that bit there. Okay, and once you finish that, okay, so all of that together, I break it up into chunks. Okay, I always tell my pupils, try and break everything up into small jigsaw puzzles. Okay, so every single piece. It's like if you're learning a solo, don't look at the whole thing. Don't play the whole thing thinly. Try and focus on each bar as such. Okay, try and find ways. When you're looking at tab, or you're looking for chords and things as well. You're looking for scales and stuff. So once you've analysed that thing, you'll be able to learn it 2 or 3 times quicker than if you just plow into it. Okay, so now we've got everything together. We'll play it through slowly, and then I'll play the full speed. Okay, so here we go. Okay, and this is the full speed. Okay, thank you so much for watching. If you've got any comments, please leave them below, or you can visit my website www.jonhartmusic.com and send me an email. Tab bundles, Skype bundles are all available at my Patreon page, which is /JonHartMusic, or www.jonhartmusic.com/store. And if you want to have any more in-depth lessons, then please contact me as well. Please leave any comments below as well for any videos that you'd like to see in the future. I'm hoping to do tutorials for all my other tracks that I released from Reborn, from Memento, and Set Adrift with Daryl Kelly. I've also got future tracks coming out, so I'm gonna have tutorials of them as well. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Please follow me elsewhere, share the love, enjoy, and yeah, take care. Thank you very much. Cheers, bye bye.